Welcome back to Stay at Home Print Club with Edinburgh Printmakers. For this session I've raided the kitchen cupboards this time and I've found my little pasta machine. Now you've maybe been using that while you've been in lockdown to make some tasty pasta. This time we're going to use it for something completely different. We're going to be using it for some blind relief printmaking. So the equipment that we're going to be needing for this session is obviously the pasta making machine, which I've bolted to my table here. You'll also need some kind of carrier to make your prints with. So this has been made with the back of an old folder, which is flexible plastic, and a piece of packaging, I think possibly from an Amazon parcel that I've had, and it's just taped together with some masking tape. We'll also need some pre-dampened paper, and I'll show you how to do that slightly later. And I've got some printing plates that I've made here, because what we're going to be doing is blind relief printmaking, and that basically means doing some form of embossing using a plate that's got some depth to it, and we're going to be putting it through the pasta making machine, which applies pressure to damp paper, and we should get some nice embossed images using that. So the plates that I've made are just, everything's laid out on small bits of card. This one is some bits of rusty metal that I found walking my dog this morning. The other one is kind of similar, it's little bits, I think an old drinks can, a rusty rivet, and another bit of metal that I found again on the path while I was out walking the dog this morning. And the other one that I've got is made from corrugated cardboard, and I've cut it into a slightly open padlock, so I thought that was kind of significant for the lockdown that we're gradually coming out of at the moment. And it's in different layers, because you're going to get a better print if there's more layers to press into the paper. So before we can do any printing, we have to prepare the paper, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So the prepared paper should be left in the bag for about half an hour, which makes sure that it's nice and soft. And the reason that we want it to be softer is so that all the fibres of the paper get pushed around the objects that we have on the printing plate. If it's dry, all that's going to happen is it's going to tear when it's put under pressure. So we're going to put the printing plate on top of our carrier, then the damp paper on top of the area that we want to print. And then with the sealed edge facing down the way, we're going to put it into the pasta machine. And the pasta machine needs to be at the widest setting so that your rollers are as far apart as they can go. And then just turn the handle. If you put your hand underneath, because you want to make sure that the print comes out the right side. It's as simple as that. And then we've got a nice embossing of our padlock. Hopefully you can see that there, but I'll take a photograph at the end. So there's two different sides, and again it's up to you which you prefer. So we're just going to repeat that process with the rusty metal and the other plate, and I'll do that a bit more quickly so that you don't have to sit through the whole thing 3 times. So that's your introduction to blind relief printmaking. If you've been following the series and you've tried the dry point etching, you can actually do some of your prints through this process as long as they fit the carrier that you've made. But you can also experiment with lots of other kinds of materials. I'm particularly fond of using found materials for this process, but you can use things like if you've got little bits of embroidered fabric, for instance, that might work well. Little bits of cut up milk cartons, other things that you can layer together. If you're worried about them moving about, then I would stick them down with some Pritt stick, etc. Stuff like that. Anyway, have some fun trying it out, maybe in between making pasta, and it's still able to be used for that process once you've done it for printmaking, as long as you give it a good clean out afterwards. But do stay safe in the meantime, and we look forward to seeing you at our next session, but also some of the work that you're making using this process. Thank you, bye.